Okay, so let's talk about something that sounds, well, a little impossible, right? The lazy topper. How on earth can you be lazy and still ace everything? Well, it turns out it's not really about laziness. Not at all. It's about being incredibly efficient.
I mean, come on, you know exactly who I'm talking about. That person who somehow has a social life, actually gets some sleep, but still, they nail every single exam. Meanwhile, the rest of us feel like we're chained to our desks and we're just struggling to keep up. What is their secret?
You know, for so many of us, this is what studying looks like. It's this brute force marathon. We're talking all-nighters, powered by coffee, highlighting every single sentence in a textbook, and just rereading chapters until our eyes completely blur. We pour in all these hours, but the knowledge just doesn't stick. We end up feeling exhausted, not prepared.
And that leads to the big question. We've always been told that more hours equals better results. It's just simple math. But what if that whole equation is just wrong? What if the secret isn't about working harder at all, but about working a whole lot smarter? This is where it gets really interesting. The secret isn't some superhuman memory or endless energy. Nope, it's all about strategy. It's about working smarter, not just longer. And this idea right here, it completely flips the script. Success isn't about having some kind of natural-born genius. It's about the method you use. It's a skill, something anyone can learn, and it's all built around one huge core concept.
So what is this fundamental concept? The whole entire secret really just boils down to this one distinction: passive versus active learning. And trust me, understanding this difference is the key that unlocks everything.
All right, so passive learning. This is what most of us do by default. It's our comfort zone. It's when we just let information kind of wash over us. You know, reading a textbook, watching a lecture, highlighting our notes. It feels productive, but you're really just a spectator on the sidelines. Information is coming in, sure, but your brain isn't really doing much with it.
Now, active learning, that's a whole different ballgame. This is about getting your hands dirty. It forces your brain to engage, to struggle a little, to make connections, and to pull information out. You're no longer just watching from the sidelines. You are on the court, playing the game, and actually building those mental muscles.
And when you put them side by side like this, wow, the difference is just crystal clear. On the left, you've got all the familiar habits: rereading, watching, highlighting. That's where most people spend like 90% of their study time. But it's that column on the right, that's where the real lasting learning happens. Solving problems without peeking at the answers, trying to explain a topic to a friend, making your own flashcards, that is the work that actually builds real knowledge.
Okay, so the theory is great. But how do you, actually do this? How do you make that switch from being a passive spectator to a fully active player? Let's dive into some practical tools you can literally start using today.
Here are 3 simple but, believe me, incredibly powerful techniques. First, try to explain a concept out loud. To a friend, to your pet, to an empty chair, it doesn't matter. If you can't explain it simply, it means you don't fully get it yet. Second, stop rereading and start testing yourself, constantly. That act of trying to retrieve information from your memory is one of the best ways to make it stronger. And finally, don't just memorize random facts. Create connections. Draw mind maps that show how all these different ideas link up. So, after all this, what's the big idea? What's the one thing you really need to walk away with? Well, it's about completely redefining what effort even means when it comes to studying.
This is it. This is the whole secret in just 5 words. 1 hour of active, focused engagement, like struggling with a problem or teaching someone a concept, is worth more, so much more, than 5 hours of just passively highlighting a book. It's not about how long you sit there. It's about how deeply you make your brain work while you are.
And that just leaves us with one last, pretty exciting question. When you stop measuring your work in hours and you start measuring it in real engagement, you don't just get better grades. You get your time back. You get your life back. So, what are you going to do with it?